out here celebrating the planting of 69 trees in one of the busiest transit corridors in Los Angeles. There is such a need for an increased tree canopy. We want to give people some shade so they can walk to transit more safely, more comfortably, and we want to reduce that urban heat island effect so that it will really benefit all the residents living here. There's a scarcity of trees. We need them for the environment, for our health and well-being. So this is a really important project. We have 69 trees going in, and most importantly to me, we also have the maintenance secured to keep those trees alive through their establishment period so they can really thrive. Oftentimes, trees are put in, people walk away, and they can't sustain themselves.
My parents have opened up a small business around the corner, and they have operated that store for more than 10 years. So I am very familiar with this stretch of Los Angeles, and we are so delighted and excited that it's going to be transformed into a more of a beautiful piece of public space for all to enjoy. And also, I'm a father of a 2-year-old daughter, and I recognize the importance of having just safe crosswalks and sidewalks and bus benches to enjoy, so that when we take a stroll, we're not tripping over anything. And also, when we're taking public transportation, we feel that it's safe and clean for everybody.
This is helping to fulfill a vision for livability that has been developed for this corridor over the past several years. In addition to the trees, we're going to be installing new bus shelters, bus pads, pedestrian lighting, and high visibility crosswalks. So when all of this is done in 2023, Santa Monica Boulevard over a pretty long stretch is going to be a lot more walkable and a lot more livable for people who are here.
Later in the program, we'll see what other projects the city is undertaking to improve the lives of Angelenos, particularly those of the homeless population. Following the damage caused by the illegal firework explosion in Council District 9 last year, many families saw their homes severely affected. Channel 35 was on site at the Silva family home to see how the recovery is coming together. Check it out.
Gathered in the aftermath of that catastrophic explosion, explosives that were found among a large amount of illegal consumer fireworks.
Well, this is an exciting day. We're going to be moving the Silva family back into their home. As you see, it's been a complete renovation. Every room, making sure that they have all the conveniences possible. We care about what happened and about their livelihood and their progress after.
The commitment level of CD9 was outstanding, and they turned it from just a rehab to a full remodel.
It's very tragic what happened, but I feel that this is almost like a new beginning. Waking up every morning, coming into work, into a clean, beautiful space is a whole life experience.
And I just hope that you and your family are going to be pleased. We spared no expense, wanted to make sure that we provided best material, best quality, best workmanship, and the best creative spirit in making this space a home again.
We can't wait to move back in.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
In our feature story this week, our own Maria Hall-Brown sits down with LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis. She discusses the work underway to combat the homelessness crisis and talks about the specific projects currently aimed at providing housing to those in need. Let's hear this story.
Well, you've had a remarkable career, and currently now you are serving the County of Los Angeles. I know you're very deeply involved in the County of Los Angeles Homeless Initiative.
Well, the Homeless Initiative came out of the whole Measure H, and so I think there's this whole idea that somehow you can just move people off the street, put them somewhere, and they're going to be okay, but it doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes mental health teams, treatment teams, health practitioners who can also help us and do some of that work out on the street. And that's one of the things that I'm really excited about, because now that I represent all of Skid Row, we're going to have a plan to address what is happening on Skid Row, working with all the services, including the City of LA, so that we can actually get people off the streets so that they survive, they can heal, and they can receive the just dignity and respect that they need.
It's been about 18 months since you opened the Hilda Solis Care First Village. I mean, that's a success story.
I think it's a game changer for a lot of people. I had no idea that we could transform containers that you see in the ports of LA and Long Beach, that they could be converted into homes. When I first thought of it, I thought, oh no, that doesn't sound realistic. But when I saw some models of what they could do, I thought, you know what? This is acceptable, because you can split the container in half and still have room for a unit, one unit to house one person that would have their own restroom, their own shower. They even went as far as to put a dog park on the property.
Aw.
You got to see it. It's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal.
And along with what you said, you know, obviously there's a need. And one of the opportunities might be sitting right outside of downtown with the LA General Hospital. How's that plan going?
Well, I have been excited about looking at it, because it is, I mean, we're talking about many, many acres of floor space that if we could retool it, put in new elevators, electricity, plumbing, and divide it up into sections so that we could have up to anywhere from maybe 500 to 600 to 700 units of housing, so that we can get people stabilized and hopefully back out in the community. And it's going to take time, and not everyone is going to be able to go back to the community. Our hope is to do that, but to do it with people that even have had lived experience, to help draw people to understand, I can empathize with you. I understand what you're going through, and I want to show you what choices, not demand. You can't do that, but you can say, here are choices. And believe it or not, I think we'll be able to do a better job once we kind of put ourselves in that place where we're listening. And I think that's really critical. So yes, the county's here to serve and try to do the best we can.
Honor the tradition of Dia de los Muertos in Pacoima. Join the fun of the Happy Harbor Halloween event in San Pedro, or attend a family-friendly Halloween safety event in Council District 9. All this up next on Things to Do.
Dia de los Muertos is a time when we get together to honor and remember our loved ones who have passed. If you want to spend time connecting with this tradition and celebrating with your community, you may want to check out Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez's Dia de los Muertos celebration in Pacoima. The weekend before Halloween, join the residents of Pacoima in a free event open to everyone, where you can stroll around and admire community altars, enjoy delicious food, dance and sing along to live music, and much more. Dia de los Muertos in Pacoima will take place at the Pacoima City Hall on Saturday, October 29th from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. For more information and details, visit cd7.lacity.org/events. Are you the type of person who likes to celebrate Halloween while feeling the gentle touch of the ocean breeze? Then the Happy Harbor Halloween event that the Port of LA is holding may be the treat that you deserve. This free event, which welcomes all people, will include an entertaining marionettes show, creative face painting, games for the younger ones attending, and arts and crafts for those who want to let their inner artists come out for Halloween. Happy Harbor Halloween will take place at the Wilmington Waterfront Park Town Square in San Pedro on Saturday, October 29th at 11 a.m. For more details about this event, visit portoflosangeles.org. Looking for more fun Halloween options? Check out the free family-friendly Halloween safety event in South LA, where kids can have a blast rocking their Halloween costumes while also learning about traffic safety. Children will be able to enjoy a wide range of activities at this event: face painting, trick-or-treating, music, and a chance to learn about bicycle and pedestrian safety. But there's more, because one lucky winner out of the first 400 people who register for this event will win an Apple iPad. The free family-friendly Halloween safety event is sponsored by Councilmember Curran Price. It'll take place at the Automobile Club of Southern California on 2601 Figueroa Street on Sunday, October 30th at 1 p.m. For more information and to register, visit cd9.lacity.gov/calendar. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
Ever notice how we no longer focus our attention on one thing at a time? We don't just walk or even just drive. We focus on so many different objects, we don't notice the dangers ahead of us. We're a distracted society. We're blind to the importance of being safe, to the things that really matter. Blind to the things that could actually save our life. We're blind to everything surrounding us. Be aware, move with care, watch the road.
Council. Today is Tuesday, October 24th, 2022. I'm Paul Krikorian, President of the City Council. As permitted under Assembly Bill 361, public comment can be taken via teleconference. And in addition to our normal process, we'll be trying something new today. We'll be taking public comment on a hybrid model by taking call-in comment as well as comment in person. So if there are technical challenges that come from that, we may have to call a recess. Please bear with us. We'll be patient as we try to find new ways to expand the opportunity of people to provide comment to the council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield, Bond, and Buscaino, Cedillo, De Leon, Harris, Dawson, Hutt, Koretz, Krikorian, Lee, O'Farrell, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez. 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Very good. First order of business, please.
Approval of the minutes of October 21st, 2022.
Councilmember Blumenfield moves. Councilmember Rahman seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Koretz moves. Councilmember Harris Dawson seconds. Next item.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
Councilmember Bonin, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
Yes, if everybody could please stand and put their hands over their heart. And let's begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Someday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bonin. Madam Clerk, let's run through the agenda, please.
Items 1 through 3 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 4 through 33 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Without objection, that'll be the order. Next.
What?
Members, are there any items that you'd like to call special? Mr. O'Farrell.
Item 30 for special remarks, please.
Item
Thank
30
you, Mr.
for
President.
Mr. O'Farrell. Thank you. Mr. Bonin. Mr. Bonin, did you have items?
Yes, item 32 for a separate vote.
Thank you. Item 32. Any other items to be called special? Mr. Price.
I would recuse myself from items 2 and 3, please, because of conflict.
Mr. Price, without objection, will be recused from items 2 and 3. Any other items to be called special, members? Okay. Very good. All right, members, we can go ahead and vote on item number 1. So item 1 is before us. Item 1 is before us, members. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the votes.
11 ayes.
Thank you. Let's go next to items numbers 2 and 3 are before us. Items 2 and 3. Open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the votes.
Ten ayes.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, Madam Clerk, okay, Madam Clerk, do we have any cards for public comment? And so, for the members of the public who are here,
Yes, there are
and
cards for public comment.
Thank you. For the members of the public who are here in chambers and also listening at home, we will be taking public comment both on the phone and in person. So we're going to go first to our public comment who are here, and the first speaker is Lionel Maras. So I'd like to ask Mr. Maras to come forward, please, for comment. And the center aisle will need to be cleared so that members of the public can come and comment. Mr. Maras, are you here? Is Mr. Maras here in the chambers? I don't see him. All right, the next speaker is Jason Reedy. Is Mr. Reedy here? Is Jason Reedy here? Please raise your hand so I can see that you're trying to make your way to the podium. All right, Mr. Reedy appears not to be here. The next speaker is Joseph Williams. Is Joseph Williams here? I do not see Joseph Williams approaching the podium. Next speaker is Andrew Grabner. Andrew Grabner. Andrew Grabner. I don't see Mr. Grabner in the chambers. And then the final speaker is Lori Condinas. Is Lori Condinas here? It's difficult because people are blocking the podium, but if you could please indicate that you're here so that we can try and give you your opportunity to speak. I don't see Ms. Condinas either, so let's go ahead and go to the callers who are calling in for public comment. So, again, for the members of the public, please note that today's meeting will include a call-in option, and we're going to go to that next. So, Madam Clerk, would you please read out the call-in information that was also provided on the agenda?
Thank you. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute. Let me repeat, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute.
So, to members of the public calling in, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak on. You have 1 minute per item to speak, up to 3 minutes total, and if you wish, 1 minute for general public comment. Please speak to the items before beginning general public comment. We'll tell you when your time's up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many of the speakers as we can. If you're not on topic, or if we can't tell whether you're on topic, the president or I will give you one brief warning. At that point, you need to get clearly immediately on topic, or again stay off topic. The president will cut you off, and you'll forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we'll move on to the next speaker. The items that are open for public comment are items 4 through 33. That's 4 through 33. So when it's your turn to speak, for people calling in, an automated Zoom voice will prompt you to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you don't do so, council staff will prompt you once more. At that point, you need to promptly unmute yourself, or unfortunately, you'll forfeit your speaking time. Finally, we understand that you may be listening to the meeting on your computer, channel 35, or other device, but when it's your turn to speak, please turn down the volume on those other devices right away. Between feedback and a time delay, it really causes a great deal of problems if you're listening on both devices. Also, while you're waiting to speak, please keep one ear to the phone because of the time delay. If you're not listening on the phone, you won't immediately hear when it's your turn to press *6 to unprompt yourself. And with that, Mr. President, we are ready to begin public comment.
Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and start with the first public speaker, please.
Caller, please state your name. Caller, please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
My name is Len Moses.
Mr. Moses, which items would you like to speak on?
27 through 29, 31, 30, 32, 33. And general public comment, please.
All right. You'll have 3 minutes to speak on the item, sir, and then 1 minute for general public comment.
All right. Thank you, sir. Politicians and diapers are two things that should be changed often, and for the same reason. To the items, the Los Angeles Sleazy Council is a criminally insane institution of organized crime and nothing more. Relation to items 27 through 29, special election to replace Urani Martinez, some call the hag from hell, District 6. This motion should be done, of course. District 6 needs representation, but along with it should be the motion that for the ballot measure to increase the city council size, the sleazy council size, I'm sorry. I heard what we get is 2 times the council members, 2 times the corruption at double the price. It doesn't sound like a good deal to us. We need representation instead of these people representing themselves. What they get public is half the work, but nothing's in there about the salaries. We want the salaries cut in half also. You forgot to mention that when you amended the motion the other day, Raman. You don't want your salary cut. Number 30 is a resolution of Farrell and Hutt on reproductive freedom. Vote no on this unless you include the right to exist by homeless people. You regularly abuse with 4118 motions evicting the homeless. Vote no on this unless you include the right to live. You people are going to go down in history as the lowest dogs on the planet. People don't have a right to exist, and you have the audacity to talk about reproductive freedom. What about the people that are already here? Evicting people under underpasses. Put them out in the street in the sun so they could die, right? Total hypocrisy. You have number 31, increase internet connectivity contract by $500,000, but still zero assistance by HUD for African Marketplace in Lamert Park. Unless I've missed something, and I hope I have. Buscayenas and Lee, you're a total complete disgrace. You give good Asian people a bad name. 4118 motions, 17 of them to evict homeless people from underpasses.
And you can go on to general if you wish, Speaker.
Thank you, sir. What a disgrace to humanity. Buscaino, you trailer trash, racist. You have no compassion for anybody. And Lee, you the same. Hut, how are you going to vote on this? They voted for yours the other day, but this is how the sleazy council works. You vote for mine, I'll vote for yours. We are watching. How are you going to vote? Most of these people are black, Ms. Hutt. How are you going to vote? Dawson also voted yes on your 4118s to abuse the homeless the other day, but that's no surprise. Number 33, install current prices, President Pro Tem of the sleazy, corrupt city council. Whenever there's something racial that happens, you cart out one of these Sambo Uncle Tom Negroes to appoint them to some commission or position. Well, here we go with Price. That doesn't fix anything. We want the systemic corruption at City Hall ended now. We don't want homeless people abused. We don't want $700,000 per unit HHH fund abuse of Dawson, Cedillo, Farrell, and the rest of these clowns. We want equity for the homeless and everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state your name and the item you wish to speak on.
Good morning, MJ King speaking on items 32 in general public comment.
Very good. You have a minute for each. Please begin.
On item 32, 4118 is steeped in anti-blackness, promotes police violence, and must end. 4118, stop expanding it, end it completely. Experiencing poverty is not a crime. As a constituent of Kevin De Leon, I'm disgusted that he's enjoying a paid vacation on our dime, getting paid to go on this press tour with no apology and no communication with his constituents. Y'all need to listen to your constituents and break quorum until they resign.
Did you want to speak on the item, Speaker? Apparently not, so I think we can go on to the next speaker.
Can we also turn the volume up a bit on the public speakers so that the members of the council can hear the members of the public who are trying to speak? Thank you. Right. But if that speaker is concluded, we can go to our next speaker.
Caller, please state the item you'd like to speak on.
Hello, I would like to speak on items 27 through 33, general public comment.
Sure, so you have 2 minutes for those items, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
With regard to item 27, for a replacement for Nuri Martinez, there is a lot more that needs to be considered before those items goes up for a vote. First off, we don't have a complete legitimate city council. There are multiple people that also need to resign in consideration for their special elections. So I am not really sure why this business is continuing to be conducted with regard to items 27 and 28. They're pretty much related. All this is being up for the vote, and though people deserve representation, we don't have the resignations necessary. There was some commentary with regard to business being handled, and that continuing such business is going to continue from the city council members due to Cedillo and Kevin De Leon not being persuaded by the stopping of business as usual. However, I would counter that with the consideration that there is no healing involved in this. None of these items here with regard to Nuri Martinez's replacement is a holistic solution. So I'm really apprehensive as to why this is even being brought forward when there have not been a complete resignation of everyone involved in the racist gerrymandering that has been involved. It's really disappointing. With regard to item 32, 4118 is so inhumane. I just witnessed some sweeping happening, and our houseless community is being abused. This is state-sanctioned violence. Absolutely disgusting. And for this to be continued for additional places, additional zonings to occur to allow sanitation and LAPD and LASD to be involved in continuing battering of constituents It's so classist, it's so racist, it's absolutely unacceptable. Where is your humanity? It's absolutely unacceptable for our council members to try to justify these legislations with a slow-going incremental implementation of, oh, we're going to provide housing. Where's the housing? Where's the permanent housing? Where is the human rights? I don't see it anywhere in this legislation. And for you to be involved in that proposal and for Marquise Harris Dawson to switch his vote around, absolutely bitch made. And it's especially for Buscaino and Lee to propose this for District 15, it's just, there's just no human rights involved. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Absolutely. All this zoning I'm seeing, Gaffey Street, 449th Street. These are the working class people. These are people who need your love, your compassion, and words. You don't have.
You can go into general if you wish, Speaker.
This meeting is hella illegitimate. Y'all know better. And for y'all to say last week, oh, we have to continue business because Angelinos need us. No, we need healing. We are continuing to hurt. The people that are there chanting y'all down, oh, they have something to say. And y'all aren't listening. So until y'all begin listening and having changed behavior, all 10 of y'all or whoever many that's over there breaking quorum half the time, I have 20 screenshots of last week when y'all broke quorum so many times in public comment. It's hard to even keep track. But in any case, y'all are hella illegitimate. KDL needs to resign. His apology tour wasn't shared. I just witnessed him bounce in and out of KBLA. And he's trying to deflect. He's trying to blame Kern Praise. He's trying to throw everybody else under the bus. And he won't do the one thing that we're asking for, that we're demanding, and that is resigning. I yield the rest of my time. Fuck all of y'all.
Next speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Yes, I'm calling for general comment.
Very good. You have a minute. Please begin.
Yes, I see all of the people in the audience. I just want you to raise your hands. We hear you and we see you and we support you and we love you. We need to ensure that Kevin De Leon resigns immediately. I live in City District 14. The Latino community, Chicano community stands in support of Black reparations for Black people. All of you should resign right now and give all your money to Black people. They have served this country, love this country. They have given up their lives. We see you all dancing in the crowd and we love you and we see you. And all of you who are people of color on the city council, you should walk out right now to break quorum. Stand in solidarity and go into the crowd. Don't just sit there. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Country, love this country.
Sorry, had you concluded, speaker? All right, next speaker, please.
Yes.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on. Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Speaker, are you there? If so, please press *6 right away.
Can you hear me?
We can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Item 32 in general public comment.
Very good. You have a minute for each. Please begin.
Yeah, once again, there should be no meeting. The way that you guys conduct this is ableist, classist, anti-Black. Having this, I had to call in 4 times and got hung up on, tried to unmute all these different times. This is an illegitimate council. It has been illegitimate long before you guys were on tape. You want to just barrel through. Of course, Buscaino is trying to further criminalize homelessness in the middle of an absolute anti-Black racist catastrophe in city council. And still want to push damaging, deadly legislation through. There's an unhoused person dying every 5 hours in this city. And you guys just want to push on like we're going to allow business as usual while KDL and Gil continue to rob the people of money and of representation. You have no concern whatsoever for the actual laws of gerrymandering and committing social genocide against the unhoused that this council does on a regular basis, but yet we're very concerned that people go in the right order when we speak public comment. And don't you dare fucking go off topic, or we will cut you off, no matter if you're an indigenous woman, doesn't matter. We have fucking rules here, don't you know? But the rules don't apply to Seville. The rules don't apply to KDL. They never applied to Nuri. You guys commit social genocide, and you have expired the tenant protections despite knowing that this is going to explode the homeless population, which is, guess what, predominantly Black. All of this is on purpose. You kill poor Black people on purpose. This council is racist, classist, ableist, and anti-Black. It's illegitimate. Overturn 4118. Cancel the expiration of the tenant protections. We will not allow you to return to business as usual. Every fucking decision that you've made is illegitimate. This council is organized crime. If you don't resign, we won't have meetings. Fuck every single one of you. I yield my time.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Are you there, speaker? Speaker, if you're there, please press *6 right away. Okay, I guess we need to go on to the next speaker.
Okay, let's move to the next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the name. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Hi, I would like to speak on item 33 in general public comment.
Very good. So you have 1 minute for the item, followed by 1 minute for general. Please begin.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Dene, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Executive Administrative Assistant for South Central United, a nonprofit organization. And I'd like to speak on behalf of myself and South Central United and support the nomination of Councilman Kern Price to be our next president pro tem. Right now, Los Angeles really needs complete transparency with an unwavering flag for all of its members, which are the right steps to healing. Councilman Price is someone who has and has always led by example with the United Front. And I mean, with his experience, we are able to build towards and forward. Councilman Price is a prime example of a true builder and an advocate for workers and their families, working directly with increasing the minimum wage, $15 an hour, and paid sick leave. I mean, he's championed many major progressive policies that have directly impacted families everywhere. And that's what Los Angeles really, really needs right now. Having been reelected in a district where 15% represents those who look like him and 85% of those who don't, I believe that his position in the community is proven.
You can go on to general if you wish, speaker.
I'm very confident Councilman Price is the change that Los Angeles really, really needs as the next president pro tem.
Thank you very much. Let's go to our next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the item you'd like to speak on.
Caller, are you there? If so, please press *6 to unmute yourself. So, caller, one more chance. It's your turn to speak, so please press *6 to unmute yourself. I suggest we go on to the next speaker. The caller seems not to be there.
All right, let's go to the next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hi there. Just to let you all know that when you ask us to press *6, the message still hasn't gone off to allow us to speak. Just want to make that clear.
Thank you. Which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak on item 33 and public comment, please.
Very good. So you have 1 minute for each speaker. Please start with 33.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny Andrade. I'm a resident of South Los Angeles that was born and raised and live in South Los Angeles, specifically in Council District 9. As president of the South Central Neighborhood Council, chair of the Union Community Police Advisory Board, and just a community leader, we as a whole are disgusted by the comments made by Latino leadership and urge them to leave their positions. With that said, we all support the nomination of Councilmember Kern Price to be our next president pro tem. Councilmember Kern Price does not see color unlike other folks. With his unwavering support to the undocumented community, keeping our community clean, and also being able to be that ear and listen to residents regardless of color, creed, or their background. He has been a very much strong supporter of South Los Angeles. That has an area that has historically
And you can
been
go on to
left
general
behind.
if you wish, Speaker.
My general comment, I'd like to continue, is given my public comment will be on Councilmember Kern Price just moving forward, that South Los Angeles being left behind as a whole, the dumping ground for homeless, the area where we have the most low-income housing, and that's here in our area. Councilmember still finds time and provides opportunities to our young people, to our small businesses, and to generally our senior citizens, and continues to support our area as a whole and our community. So I go ahead and I'd like to state that he would be the best pick for pro tem president. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Next caller, please.
Caller, please state the item you wish to speak on.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Loud and clear. Which items would you like to speak on?
Yes, 27 through 29 and general public comment.
Sure. So you have 3 minutes for those items, and then following that 1 minute for general. So please begin.
Thank you. Yeah, this is Sean O'Brien of Venice. I was calling I heard that you guys were trying to reform LA. This is something kind of new. I hope everybody's listening. I want you to pay close attention. LA is too big. It's too dysfunctional. It's too bureaucratic. You guys cannot govern. You are now talking about increasing the size of the city council. What I'm asking you to do is do a 180 and actually make LA smaller. How do you do that? You allow cities like Venice, San Fernando to exit the city of Los Angeles. Make LA smaller. You want to reform LA? Reform LA by making it smaller so you guys can actually govern. With general public comment.
Well, it sounds like that was actually general. Did you want to talk on the items? I think you said 27 through 29 about the possible special election.
Yeah, well, I'd like you guys to table that until you have a new sitting council. You have elections in 2 weeks. This needs to be made by the new city council. You got to wait. Again, make LA smaller, reform LA by making it smaller, allow cities like Venice to leave the city of LA. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Let's go to the next caller, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
Item 33, general comment.
Very good. So you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with 33.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ricardo Marquez. I was raised in Boring, El Salvador, but I immigrated to South LA. I'm a youth community member. I'm a leader in my area. I'm also part of the Newton CPAC Advisory Board. I'm also sitting in the Latino Coalition Board, and I'm here to support the nomination of Councilmember Kern Price to be our next president pro term. it's imperative that we unify the city of LA, the community, and my fellow brothers and sisters. As a fellow Latino, I am disgraced of what happened in City Council, and I would like to have Mr. Price, given the fact that I know him, I can have all the confidence that he will bring unity and healing into our community, and we must move forward to make sure that we have a competent community leader who's going to hear us, everyone across the side, Latinos, African Americans, young people, old people, and the best place and the best guy to have us representing City Council is Mr. Price. So that's what I'm here for. Hopefully everyone can hear loudly that Latinos, young people, and all of my friends and folks want Mr. Price to be our next President pro tempore. Thank you.
Thank you. You have an extra minute for general. Did you want to use it?
Well, yes, actually. Why do we need Price in here? Because I personally have been working for years, 5 to 6 years, in community leaders, working with clergy, working with small business, nonprofits, and churches, and all of that. And Mr. Price has always been center and forefront, making sure that he gives us resources, if not work collaboratively with anyone to make sure that we improve quality of life. South LA has actually I've been uplifted through his work in the last couple of years, and because he has bring unity and has the leadership, he can bring that to the entire city of LA. So that's why we need to have him rather than anyone else that is going to bring disgrace. Mr. Price brings trust, he brings experience, and he brings unity, and that's what we need right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your calling.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hi, I'd like to speak on 27, 28, 29, 33 in general.
Sure. So you have 3 minutes for the items. Start with those, and then 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Great. I'm not going to list off all of my titles and affiliations because I'm speaking on behalf of myself as an individual, and I don't want to purport that I'm speaking on behalf of South LA. I just want to say that it's nice to see Karen Price actually recuse himself properly for once. Regarding the special elections, Angelenos need city council members that are going to look out for the city's best interest and not just worry about their own power base. We need council people that listen to their constituents and act with their communities in mind. Angelenos don't want to spend our time yelling at council, but Nuri made it so that yelling and protesting is the only way the public could be heard. And you're all complicit in this because you let it happen. You're taking hours of public comment right now, but it's just to keep us placated. Most of you are not actually listening, and many of you have absolute disdain for the public. You get up and you walk around or you play with your phone during public comment.
Do you want to speak to the items?
I am getting back around to Nuri. So yesterday at Pause, Koretz muted anyone that criticized him, saying they were off topic, and you could hear him giggling while doing it because the fool didn't mute his mic. Let's not even get into how NCs with CISs have to fight to be heard. I hope that CD6 elects someone that treats stakeholders with respect, because that's what Angelenos need. I want to talk about how protesters that saw the racist and hateful actions of this council for what they were and didn't need the aid of leaked tape are now being charged for calling it out. Their reward for being right is legal bills and being smeared in the press. You can't tell me that the council didn't have a hand in the recent charges filed by Fuhrer. And if you didn't ask for them, you didn't put a stop to them. The LA Times is doing your bidding too. We've all heard your dangerous rhetoric comparing peaceful protest to an insurrection. We all saw Joey threaten to call DCFS and break up a young black family because a father, a black man, had the audacity to call out anti-black racism. That casual wielding of government power in such a traditionally racist way in council chambers still makes me shudder. We've seen the videos of how protesters have been treated the last 2 weeks. Some of you joined in protests yesterday, but it doesn't make up for the police and riot gear at City Hall and the violence that has been doled out. Let's hope new council members don't perpetuate this violence on Angelenos. You seriously need to rethink how you're treating Angelenos, especially those that have been unafraid to call City Hall out on its racist and hateful bullshit. If you think hastily pushing through topic reforms is the way to keep your job, think again. You need to listen to Angelenos and you need to make thoughtful reforms. Fuck Gil, fuck Seven, those assholes need to stop sucking at the government teat and let their CDs be represented by someone that deserves the position. Fuck you, I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
Hi, item 33 in general public comment.
Very good. You have a minute for each. Please begin with item 33.
Okay, thank you. My name is Genesis, and I'm part of Comunidades Indígenas en Liderazgo. I support the nomination of Council Curran Price to be our next president pro tem. And for the general public comment, I would like to go ahead and say that we are still demanding the immediate resignation of council members De Leon and Cedillo. The racist, anti-Indigenous, anti-Black, anti-Semitic, and homophobic remarks made during that October 2021 meeting are rooted in centuries of colonization and oppression, and they continue to perpetuate the violence against our community. And we also think it's equally important that the city must commit to implementing and fully funding a robust language access plan so that all residents can finally access services that have been too long denied. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello, I'd like to speak on general public comment.
Very good. You have a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. I'm a resident of CD14, and I just wanted to respond to Councilmember De Leon's comments on CBSLA again. He explained the reason why he's not resigning is because his council district would be left voiceless if he were to leave. But I would just note that he was prepared to leave to become mayor. So it just underscores his disingenuousness. And again, I would call for him to resign. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, Speaker, are you there? Speaker, if you're there, please press *6 to unmute yourself.
All right, thank you. I'd like to comment on item number 33, please.
Sure, you have a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. I'd like to, my name is Richard Corral. I am the CEO and principal consultant of Corral Consulting. I'm calling in support of President Pro Tem Curran Price's nomination and vote for today. I think Councilmember Price really is the leader that we need at this current moment, not only due to his ability to represent the diverse constituents of his district, but also his ability to do this citywide. Also, in terms of his record and ability to get things done in the district, whether it's hotel living wage or banning the box, or even food, policies around sidewalk vending, as well as even some of the policies advanced during COVID to address housing homelessness as well as income insecurity. He definitely has a strong track record of being able to get things done across diverse constituents and in addition to his colleagues as well.
Thank you,
very
Speaker.
much.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on. Caller with the last four digits 0110. Please unmute yourself by typing in *6.
So, Speaker, please press *6 right now to unmute yourself, otherwise we'll have to move on. Okay, I think we should probably move on to the next speaker then. Sorry about that.
All right, let's go to the next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on. Caller with the last digits 1881, please press *6 to unmute.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
We sure can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Yes, I'd like to speak on all items available in public comment.
So that'd be 3 minutes for the items. Please start with those, followed by a minute for general public comment. Please begin, Speaker.
First of all, I want to thank all the speakers. I don't agree with them on many items, but I appreciate their opinions. In regards to the special election to replace Ms. Martinez, what the people of the 6th District have to do is please, I beg of you, not to send somebody from the same group that produced Martinez and her predecessor. If that happens, then we're going to continue with corruption, and that's the last thing we need to have happen, and for us to be divided once again. So please, the people of the 6th District, find somebody new in your area. There are a lot of great people in your area that can represent you and do a great job. In regards to item 32, you know, it's interesting, and that's the removal of people off the street that, you know, people just want to take their streets back. At what point do those who have worked and stood and taken everything that life can give you, and they're just trying to save their homes, at what point do we start looking at them and saying, look, we support you, we understand what you're going through. Yes, we need to do everything possible for the homeless, and that's why I think we need to elect Mr. Rick Caruso. We have, well, California is going to become the 4th most powerful money-making entity in the world. We're going to replace Germany. And what's the biggest thing about that? It's Los Angeles, the greatest city in the greatest country. And we need to make sure that our most valuable asset is protected, and that's our lives. We need to protect everyone's lives. So please, those of you who disagree with me, I think you will agree with me that we need to make sure that each and every one of us is safe. Into public comment. May I go into public comment?
Of course. Please go ahead.
Yes. All right, Mr. If we're going to end Ms. Martinez's reign, and I don't care if people are upset with me, but Ms. Martinez, I forgive you. I really do. I forgive you because at one point you were a wonderful human being who wanted to do great for this city, and you got lost because your predecessor taught you the wrong thing. So, Mr. Bobble, you still represent Ms. Martinez, and I'm asking Mr. Krikorian, please explain to us, as the new president, please explain to us how, when you call in, how that whole process goes through from the time we call in, who gets the first call, who handles it. Please, Mr. Krikorian, as the new president, do one thing so that we at least know that thing is not going to happen to other people. And Mr. Bobble, please step down. If you love this city, step down. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Yes, good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Which items would you like to speak on?
General public comment.
Very good. You have a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. I have to agree and disagree with some of the previous callers, but I'm amazed and blown away that no one has seen the political power grab that is going on under your nose and in the public by the Anglo members of this neighborhood council, on the city council, along with the people that are staying quiet along with the board. They're all complicit. And right now, look at all the stuff that's going on before you that's going to get passed and voted on. And the people don't even have a voice in it. Political power grab. You've done a great job of dividing the city, black against brown. But guess what? Those people that know, and I'm one of them, see through that power play. And we are going to do the best to our ability to make sure that it gets exposed for what it is. The power grab and the great divide, with you guys sitting there at that horseshoe, dividing and pitting black people against brown people. So wrong.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Speaker.
you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hi.
General public comment.
Hi, Speaker. Which item did you say you wanted to speak on?
General public comment.
Very good. You have a minute. Please begin.
I just wanted to point out the fact that obviously you guys are listening in to anyone on YouTube or anything. It's super silent. All you probably hear is my voice. But on a live, I want you to hear what it is that you're actually what's going on in City Council.
Thanks, Speaker. Could you continue to orally address the items? Otherwise, we're going to have to move on. So, if you don't want to say anything else, let's go back.
So
let's cut that speaker
go to the
and
next
move to the next one.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
I would like to speak on general comment. My name is Laura Ceballos, and I'm a community organizer in Venice. I am asking the LA City Council to retract the motion to change the name of Oakwood Park, a historical park in Venice that both the brown and black communities share deep roots to. The name change was done without good governance and no community input. Mike Bonin has ostracized the people of color, and their voices have the people of color who have been marginalized, and attempted to pit the brown and black community against one another and erase the Chicano Mexican American history that we have in the Oakwood area. We have over 1,000 petitions opposing the name change, so we ask that you retract the motion. And also, Mike Bonin, how many backdoor meetings have you had with Dillies to gentrify the West Side? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Public comment and item 33.
Okay, so please begin with item 33 for a minute, and then you can go on to public comment. So please begin.
Thank you. My name is Raul Claros. I'm the co-founder of California Rising, a multicultural, multi-generational organization that has 25 heads of organizations across the city of LA that represents over 2,500 constituents in the city of LA. And we unanimously support the appointment of Councilmember Curran Price as our next Council Pro Tem. We feel that every crisis, every emergency, every disaster, whether it's been Donald Trump, whether it's been COVID, Curran Price has been the first council member to be out there with the people. He donated $1 million towards the resistance. He also was the first council member to get those mobile clinics and vaccines into our black and brown communities. And this is why we love Curran Price. His accessibility and respect for all of us was shown during redistricting as well. He took into consideration the most vulnerable, and that's the type of leadership that we need. With that being said, I'd like to go into my public comment.
Yes, please.
It is the type of leadership from Councilman Price and now Council President Krikorian that California Rising is asking for a meeting with both of these leaders, as we've had with Councilwoman Hutt, as well as Councilmember-elect Eunices Hernandez. It is time that we start working as we continue to demand on these resignations and start working towards recalls if needed. We will continue to put these pressures not only on Kevin De Leon, but also Gil Cedillo, who both need to resign. We have not had any resources or services in Council District 1 since the end of the primary. Staff is missing. Offices have been cleared out in District 1, and we just have no representation. So now, as our new council president and hopefully council president pro tem, we need your support in both of these districts. We were all out there together marching in Council District 14.
Thank you, Speaker. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Speaker, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi.
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
I would like to speak on general public comment, please.
Very good. So you have 1 minute. Please begin.
Hi, good morning, Council. I'm here to say we should all go trick-or-treating at Kevin De Leon's house. at his 14th district. Knock on his door, say trick or treat. The taxpayers are here to get their money back. So I hope every single taxpayer goes and trick or treats at Kevin DeLeon's house, and he should give every taxpayer a refund, because you know what? He's just afraid to resign because he doesn't want to kiss his $1 million Eagle Rock house goodbye, because it's going to go into foreclosure. That's what he's afraid of. That's why he won't resign. So as for Halloween, we should all go trick-or-treating at Kevin DeLeon's house to get money instead of candy. That's what I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Speaker.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning.
Hi, which
Good
items
morning.
would
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Item 27 to 33 on public comment, please.
Sure. So you have 3 minutes for those items, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Okay. Item 28. I represent the Harbor Gateway Neighborhood Council, a constituent of District 8, as well as the borders of the county District 2, District 21. The consideration of motion for special hearing from Farrell and Rahman. I would like to speak on the Black Angelinos, specifically heterosexual Black women, as pertaining to these agendas. The recommendations for a special meeting for District 6, Farrell, you had a whole hour to honor Joe Coy, and yet Black people experiencing homelessness couldn't even have 2 minutes of public comment. When we appear in person to present important items, half of you are walking around, you're talking to each other, you're not even listening to us when we stand there. So for those who can't make it there in person, you're not really missing much.
Stick with the items, please.
I believe this hybrid. So 27, consideration of motion from Harris, Dawson, and Bonin. As a constituent of District 8, when we call the district office of Harris Dawson for assistance, we are met with Solomon Rivera, and this is what we experience.
Good afternoon, Councilmember Harris Dawson's office.
Hi, so sorry. This is just the opportunity for you to talk, so please turn that off and continue to address. So we're going to cut you off if you don't start speaking to us again.
I'm sorry, Father, what were you saying?
So this is not a time for multimedia presentation. It's time for you to talk to us. So please stick with the items. You've got a minute left on those before we go to general.
Okay, well, going back to the consideration of item 27, we're stating that to consider anybody in office, you have to be fair to all Angelinos. And the fact that we're considered monkeys and not given any consideration to have representation at all from this 15-person body is atrocious. So Curran Price, yes, should be the pro tem president, but he needs to also focus on the Black Angelinos in District 9. Now, the multimedia presentation, as you presented it, Farbo, was actually Solomon Rivera stating that he doesn't want us, Black homeless service provider, to call his office anymore. And because you don't want people to hear that, it's unfair for you to censor somebody's public comment. I want you guys to ask LASA to return the $150 million from HUD.
We seem to be in general. So why don't you're almost at general anyway. So we'll continue and we'll go on to general.
Okay, thank you. LASA returned $150 million in homeless funding. We are service providers. We're not going to ask you permission for anything anymore. We are going to stake claim on the empty property all over LA County and start building housing. So I need all the constituents, all my brothers and sisters. We see you. We thank you for the protest, the disrespect that this body has continued to give us by even having this meeting. Kevin Alexander Leon, your real name is Kevin Alexander Leon. You are a selfish bastard. Your homeless deputy doesn't even do any generous for Gia Victor, a Black homeless lady who's trying to go to Chandler Tiny Homes. But yet you help everybody else but Blacks. This body is illegitimate.
And I'm asking you right now, when you see us building housing, get a hammer and nails and join us, because we're not taking any more rules and regulations from this body. Solomon Rivera needs to resign. Marquise needs to resign as well. Kudos to Current Price and O'Farrell, and please keep this body together.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Morning, Fable. The audio for this meeting on Zoom started very late after you voted on items, so I was wondering if you could tell me if there are any specials.
There are no specials. Only items 1 through 3 have been voted on. So you can speak on items 4 through 33 in general if you wish.
Great. I'd like to speak on items 28, 33 in general public comment.
So you have 2 minutes for the items followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Obviously we need a special election in CD6, but we should be aligning that with a special in CD14. And none of you have gone on the bandwagon of raising money for a recall, so maybe we do something a little cheaper. Kevin says he'll resign if it's the will of his people, so let's do a poll in CD14 of voters and ask what they think on whether or not he should resign. Please look at that crowd. Listen, you're not doing enough. This isn't going to die down, and you can't wait it out. With item 33, this morning, Kevin De Leon said Current Price was supposed to be at their meeting about gerrymandering the city's maps. He was their closest co-conspirator. Apparently, Current Price's office is denying this. Let's hear that denial come directly and unequivocally from Current Price's mouth. Why hasn't Current Price had to speak on the record about his collaboration with the Axis of Evil? I hear that Current Price recused himself earlier. Again, I did not have that audio, but I want to ask, did he personally state the conflict of interest at hand and the specific economic interest that presents the conflict? It's not enough for him to say, I'm recusing myself from item 30 because of my wife. For general public comment, Councilmember Koretz kicked off over a half a dozen people at yesterday's Animal Welfare Committee meeting. I brought up the fact that it took him years to visit the animal shelters, 2.5 months after the LA Times story broke. And he told me I was off topic and kicked me out of the meeting, even though later in the meeting, Paul Koretz spoke about his exact visit to the animal shelter. People who brought up the fact that he needs to listen to the volunteers were cut off. Many people cut off and kicked out without a warning. I have asked Fable and Rob Wilcox to respond to this. No response. Mike's office has overlooked and enabled the corruption that continues to destroy this city. This is unacceptable, shameless, and you should not allow Paul Koretz to be silencing dissent like that when it's clearly within the subject matter jurisdiction of the committee. I yield my time. Fuck all of y'all until Gil and KDL resign.
Okay. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Which items would you like to speak on?
I would like to speak on item 32 in general public comment.
Great. So you have 1 minute for each. Please begin with item 32.
Hi, my name is Jordan. My pronouns are she and her. And I just want to say, fuck 4118. As an autistic transgender woman, homelessness was really fucking rough on me. Maybe instead of throwing so much fucking money to the LAPD to brutalize us, we could put money to safely house us in non-bullshit SROs downtown run by poverty pimps. Joey Bucket, you make me ashamed to be Italian. Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, fuck the police. Now on to my general public comment, fuckhead Bobble.
Go ahead.
Okay. Gil Cedillo should fucking resign now and let Nissus take over. Kevin De Leon should resign. But a bunch of you, but almost every one of you should fucking resign. Paul Koretz, I'm ashamed that you're an animal rights activist, but you're like pro-cop and anti-homeless. Fuck you, fuck Mitch O'Farrell, fuck John Lee, fuck everyone except for maybe...
You still there, Speaker? You seem to have dropped off. Speaker? All right, I think we lost you, so we'll go on to the next speaker.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn calling from Studio City. I'd like to speak on the
items and also general public comment?
Sure. So you have 3 minutes for items 4 through 33, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Okay. Well, so to reflect what the people want, we have to have a special election, and I agree that they should be aligned and should be set up quickly. You know, the history of special elections in the city is the history of corruption as well. As you know, Herb Wesson opted not to have a special election when Mr. Fuentes decided to become a lobbyist. And so he stuck himself in there temporarily. And then, as you know, when Mr. AD 54, that's where Sebastian Ridley Thomas and Mark Ridley Thomas built their empire, when Mr. Sebastian Ridley Thomas was stepping away with his medical emergency / sexual harassment escapade. Boys up at the state, Kevin DeLeon, and the other guy who runs the other seat, made a nice special election that saved approximately 30 days of a seated member in a always goes the same way district, Comlager, and then of course Isaac Bryan, who's leading the charge with Marquise Harris Dawson to be the next wave of leadership. But these special elections are put on with great public resources by the very same cronies who make this. Right now, the hypocrisy is at such an all-time high, it's hard to believe. The idea that Kevin DeLeon said what he said is appalling, but let's all take a chill pill for a minute, okay? Second chance, Mr. Price. What about people who get arrested for serious crime? We don't want everybody to be ruined when they make a terrible mistake. I don't think that Kevin DeLeon, for saying what he said,
we seem to have veered off the items, Mr. Previn.
What are you talking about? I'm still on the items. How am I not on the items? I'm talking about special elections. We're having one for Mr. DeLeon once he agrees to step aside.
So actually, that's not what those 3 items are about. They're about the special election for CD6. But anyway, continue, Mr. Previn.
Well, no, but I'm allowed to say that the special election for Nuri and for CD6 should also be in alignment with one that's going to have to come up soon. That's not. You got to stop editing people's comments. Seriously, Saul. You're much better at interrupting than you are at anything else, but that's not your job. So just don't do that. Now, I'll go to my general public comment and try to make the point.
Sure.
Go ahead. I'm very, very upset now because I'm almost derailed. What can I say to the people in the hall other than thank you for coming down and expressing yourselves? But let's also try to put a reality check on what we're up to, because we have to find a way to resume civility. Who cares if Kevin DeLeon is in the room or not in the room? I'll be honest with you, because we've got 14 other corrupted council members, but we still have to function, as far as I know. Although I read a compelling piece on City Watch, which I rarely read, about by Joe Matthews, suggesting that there is a way. There is a way to get rid of the entire city council. So look that up. I saw that on City Watch. In the interim, I'm afraid we have to tell the truth, which is that Krikorian should step aside, and we're going to get Senator Padilla, Alex Padilla, Nuri's best friend, to come and take over his old stomping grounds at City Hall, and he'll be the council president going forward while we get through this, while we heal, okay? While we heal, let's have him in to help, because we do need to heal, Falvo. Everybody agrees with that. And I have to echo the great speaker from CD6 and say, if you love this city, please step down.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Previn.
Thanks very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
Hi, I'd like to speak on general public comment.
Great, so you have a minute. Please begin.
This is in regards to the motion to change the name of Oakwood Park. I'd like to retract that motion, ask the board to retract that motion. This seems like another attempt to break up the community and to take away our historic landmarks, especially for people of color. Myself, my family, been here for almost 100 years, and we've seen a lot of change and the gentrification that's been happening in our community. And
these motions, like to change the Oakwood Park, it just furthers the effort for the community to get broken up. And it's very upsetting, and that you guys are allowing this to happen. And definitely, like, our people are noticing what's going on. And so that's why we have 1,000 signatures to retract the motion to change Oakwood Park. Something that we find sacred and that we've had for all this time.
Thank you, Speaker.
So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
Okay. Yes, those two should resign. Thank you for carrying on business and not empowering them to stop everything from moving forward. Regarding big elephant in the room, millennium. This racial slurs and what went on with the three is disgusting, but the corruption on the city council has been going on for years. To push projects through and risk people's lives with all of the seismologists, state and now federal warnings that people will die in those buildings. This is Eric Garcetti, Mitch O'Farrell, and every council member that supported them. Ray Chan, the biggest enabler, was promoted twice by Garcetti for pushing them through, now holden by the FBI in his retirement. The FBI should be investigating everybody that was involved in the most controversial, most corrupt project to hit Los Angeles, and that's Millennium. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Yes, I already spoke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hello?
Hi. Yeah, hi. Which items would you like to speak on?
Hi. I'd like to comment on line 33 and the general line
Absolutely.
comment.
So you have a minute for each. If you'd start with item 33, please, and you can begin.
All right. So I'm assuming line 33 is elections for the next president, replacing Nora Martinez. I hope that you guys can find another black person or a black person to take over, because allowing the Hispanics to have done what they've done in that recording made me cry as a gay Asian who came to Los Angeles wanting to make a dream for himself at the age of 18. It's been really tough just living in Los Angeles since 2008, 2010, and I've seen the interactions with the Mexico border influence the territories of SoCal, and it's ruined everything in Los Angeles. And I was a homeless youth, and I couldn't even find anything over my head. And I hope you guys can make changes and find someone with a mind who has equality, and preferably someone who's black, because my black brothers and sisters have suffered so much throughout the years.
You have a minute for general if you wish, Speaker, also.
General comment. I don't even know what to start with, but it's bizarre what you guys are allowing these people to interact with city council like. I really hope that you guys find some way of neutralizing this issue with Kevin De Leon and his team. They just need to go. It's not nice for this place, Los Angeles, to be dealing with these things. Being a place of dreams and city of angels, it's changed so much over the years, and I don't think it's fair that the American people have to deal with these things anymore. It's just bizarre, it's scary, and I'm not even in Los Angeles anymore. Calling in from San Diego, it's leaking into other places. I really hope you guys can grow up and make decisions for the American people, not for the... Goodbye.
Thank you. We appreciate your call, Speaker.
Thank you very much, caller. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Della Barajas, and I'm calling on item 33.
Sure, you have a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. I support the nomination for Councilman Kern Price to be our next President Pro Tem. Why? Because the city needs to heal and it needs the right leadership to restore public trust and confidence. We need a collaborative leader who can work with multi-ethnic and multicultural groups. Councilmember Price is that leader who will continue to fight for the underserved and the disadvantaged communities. He is the leader who we have experienced as a leader capable of uniting and moving us forward, regardless of where in the city we live, or he will represent us and not allow us to be left unseen or unheard. Councilmember Price is the prime example of a true coalition builder and tireless advocate for workers and families. He has championed major progressive policies that have directly impacted families everywhere. This includes the largest guaranteed-based income.
Thank you, Speaker.
Yeah.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Public comments, please.
Sure, you have a minute. Please begin.
I would like to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to call in and give in my public comment. But the reason why I'm calling is frustrating that my councilwoman, Monica Rodriguez, is not there. She's absent again. So my district loses a vote. And that is not okay. And I feel that she should step down also, because when she was running against Elisa Avalos, her number one volunteer, Arnie, said racist remarks about Elisa Avalos on social media. And she didn't say either you apologize or you cannot volunteer for me. I didn't hear any of you guys saying anything. But because those three persons got caught, they should all resign. But Ms. Rodriguez should also resign, and she should step down from safety committee. She's putting my district, my community in danger. How? She removed Officer Cesar Coloca just because he was a remarkable officer.
Thank you.
That is not okay because she didn't like him.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi. I'd like to speak on items 28 to 30, 32, 33, and general public comment.
Great. So you have 3 minutes for the items, and when you're done with that, 1 minute for general. So please begin.
Okay, great. So I'd like to start with item 30, 32. I just have to ask, what are we doing? Sweeps, 4118, all we're doing is moving people around and creating misery. It doesn't solve homelessness. It doesn't fix anything. It wastes money and it hurts people. That's it. But I'm also really I've been fixated, honestly, on Mr. Buscaino's remarks where he threatened to take away a child from Jason Reedy because he, shouted? I've had people shout things at me and I don't make $200,000 a year. You don't threaten to take away somebody's family for that. You owe them an apology. But I'm also, I can't stop thinking about it because 50% of the people experiencing homelessness have been in the foster care system at some point. So that remark coupled with the 4118 stuff just really, ties it all together to me in a way that it's not good fiscal policy. It's not good moral policy. It's ugly is what it is. Everything about it is ugly. Talking about number 33, I just think it's really interesting if you look at the November 18th issue of the Sentinel, as reported by Sarah Suleiman for Street Blog. Mr. Price is echoing the exact same talking point that about taking the airport that Nuri said in those tapes, and I found that really interesting. The exact same phrasing. Redistricting was an ugly process for a lot of people, and I'm glad that it's going to be investigated. I think it needs to be. I think there's not many clean hands in the whole thing. Coupled between that with the way that
recusals have been handled. I don't know. I think it leaves a lot to be said about what we're considering for leadership. 28 through 30, obviously we need a special election. I wish that we were having a special election for 14 as well. That would be more cost efficient. Kevin needs to step down. Calling for resignations is not enough. I think each of you should be asking, what can you do to help this process? Call up Kaufman Legal. Let's get a committee set up. The committee to recall Kevin De Leon. Each of you can raise 20K, or let's get this poll going. See what the constituents in CD14 really think. I know you can't do anything about one because you're timed out, but CD14, you can do things. You can do more. You should be doing more. We expect that from you because these meetings are going to continue to be chaos until he's out. So let's do it. But also to whoever runs for CD6, I hope that you will take the lessons of Nuri Martinez.
And you can go into general if you wish.
What's that?
You can go into general public comment if you wish.
Okay, great. So for general public comment, super stoked about hybrid meetings. Good job listening to feedback. Very excited. I still don't know why we're doing items for CD1 and 14, especially if they're sort of like optional items. I don't think we should be scheduling those. But I also think that we need to think about a system that prioritizes process over justice, decorum over justice. And I think that that's been the inflection point for a lot of people with this. I heard the recordings of the Paul Committee yesterday, where so many people were cut off when they were on topic. That's not justice. And it's weaponizing process against people who were there in good faith. That's not right. That needs to be addressed. Sometimes when people are having complex thoughts in public comment, you need to allow them, a sentence or two to bridge the thoughts together. And I don't see a lot of allowance.
Thank you, Speaker. So going to the next speaker.
Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and call the next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, which items did you want to speak on?
Public comment, please.
Sure, you got a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. Mr. Kevin De Leon, we support you. You've done a lot for our community. These annoying protesters do not represent all of us. You already apologized enough. Don't overkill with apologies. Stop with the apology tour. Stay strong and focused for your community. They could take it or leave it, but please do not resign. We could all learn from this and move on. And to City Council, thank you for continuing doing these meetings and continuing with our calls. And crime is out of control right now. Also in LA, smash and grabs and all that. Real life struggles. We need to, put our ideas and how we're going to stop all this instead of an audio. Concerned about an audio. It's disheartening to see City Council eating and talking and to other people in the room while we voice our opinion. They're not even paying attention. But thank you to the rest of you that are. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on. Caller with the last four digits, 1403, please press star 6 to unmute.
So, Speaker, if you are there, please press star 6 now, or we'll have to move on. So I think we should probably move on.
Okay, next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on. Caller with the last four digits, 9325, please press *6 to unmute.
So, speaker, if you're there, last four digits 9345, please press *6 right away, or we'll move on to the next person. No? Okay, I think we need to move on to the next person then.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Rick Caruso for mayor. Let's get him on.
So, speaker, which items would you like to speak on, if anything?
Rick Caruso for mayor.
So we're going to move on to the next speaker. Next caller.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hey, speaker, we can't really hear it. Which items would you like to speak on? Okay, I think it's... We'll move on to the next speaker.
No meeting! No meeting!
Next speaker.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can. Which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak on item 32 and give a general statement.
Sure. So you have a minute for item 32, and then when you're done with that, you'll have a minute for general. So please begin.
First, I'd like to say on item 32, you guys are allowing this homeless crisis to overtake our entire city. There is shit on the floor of the sidewalk. Literally, it's disgusting. Nothing is done to either help or solve the problem, and all you rich-ass fucks do is BS around in circles around this shit. It's disgusting. I walk down the street in the valley where I'm from, and it looks awful. You guys mask this with this progressive woke ideology to be kind and be nice. Something needs to be done. Like, forget being nice or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's disgusting, and this shit needs to get resolved. Now, general comment.
Sure.
I don't know how you guys could sit through this shit right here and have crazy lunatics in pink hair dictating what decisions you guys make. You guys allow this mob of crazy radical idiots talk over the modern regular people of Los Angeles. The regular people of Los Angeles hate this shit. We want justice and order restored into our city, and for our city to not look like a third world country. So get your head out of your ass and actually do something to really help the real people of Los Angeles, and not this woke, progressive bullshit mob of lunatics that are trying to influence our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on. Caller with the...
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Which items would you like to speak on?
General comment.
Sure, you've got a minute. Please begin.
My name is Heavenly Hughes, co-founder of My Tribe Rise. I am thankful for everyone, all the groups, Black Lives Matter, who are there advocating against the words being used towards Black people. Anti-Blackness has been a part of this country since the beginning. It is time for us to rise up and continue to say Black Lives Matter, and that anti-racism must come to an end. I hope more and more and more people, all those throughout Los Angeles County, come to these meetings and demand that every single city council member that continues to be for these meetings resign. Because if you all are not demanding that De Leon resign, you all must resign as well. This government, this country must stop anti-Blackness. You all have been
shown hatred towards Black people since the beginning. It is time for you all to speak up against it. I hope all Los Angeles County come to these meetings and demand that De Leon step down and resign.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
General comment.
Sure, you have a minute. Please begin.
This is about the renaming of Oakwood Park in Venice. I heard the term weaponizing process earlier, and I believe that is what's happening here. We should not be changing names of historical parks without due diligence, and I know that due diligence has not been processed in that. Also, in this era of hatred that is being inculcated by insiders, this is not the time or the place to try and get away with this. Oakwood Park deserves to be named or be preserved by the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
You hear me?
We sure can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Public comment.
Excellent. So you have a minute. Please begin.
Now, briefly, regarding the unruly crowd, why doesn't Krikorian clear the chambers and they have him watch them down in the committee meeting down the hall and they can monitor it there? Because, again, this is very disruptive. Now, regarding Kevin Galeone, you know, he said, well, gee, I'm sorry I didn't step in and cut off Nuri. But he's very racist against white people, and that hasn't come out. He said whites will cut you in a heartbeat, but when they get in trouble, they make some shit up to get out of it. Okay, you got a problem with white people, Kevin, and he blames whites, liberal whites, which means white people, for a glass elevator on Latinos. So the guy's against black people, he's against white people, he's against everybody but Latinos, and so I wish that would come out, that his racism is also geared toward white people. It might put some more pressure on him. And finally, he's got 60 days before he can sit out for 60 days, people. So he can sit on his ass for 60 days and still get paid, and he's not going anywhere.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Yeah, just a public statement.
Sure, you have a minute. Please begin.
Shout out to Smoke and Scan, baby. Shout out to Smoke and Scan. And I just want to say this far left woke agenda ran my wife and my family out of California, born and raised in the San Fernando Valley. And this far left woke agenda by these Democrats, like the ones that are in your chambers right there, causing all this divisiveness, they need to be removed. This needs to stop. Seriously, it's ridiculous. The great state of California is going down this shitter because of this woke ideology. And shame on any politician that accepts this type of behavior. It's extremely sad. And I just hope you guys get it right out there, because you're going to continue to lose good people that truly care about that state to other states. So take care, man. You guys have a good one. Trump won, baby. Trump fucking won.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
General public comment.
Very good. You have a minute. Please begin.
Thank you. Lydia Ponce. We are simply adding Reese Tabor. We're not changing the name of Oakwood Park. We're adding. No change. Ms. Ceballos doesn't even live in the 90291, and she misrepresents, and she's causing division between brown and black here in Venice. Perhaps she should join Kevin De Leon and Cedillo, and her resistance to truth is really impeccable. She's really on the map and off the charts. I am a barefoot indigenous woman. I'd like for you to relay that message to Kevin De Leon. And they both do not own the seat we need to organize and come together to unseat them. Martinez and Herrera perhaps should circle back and pick up their homies. That is a poor excuse to not understand the servitude, public service that they are supposed to be up and above and beyond, and being a measurable, inspiring and encouraging persons, people to our children, 7 generations forward, Black and brown, all children.
Thank you.
What a
Thank you,
disgrace.
Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello.
Hi, which items
Hello?
would you like to speak on? Hi.
Is line 32 related to the homelessness crisis out there?
So I think you're talking about, no, but there is one on that. It is, I'm blanking on the number. It's 30, it is 32. I'm sorry. So yes, you want a minute for that?
Yes, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so as a patron of being a homeless youth, I'd like to say that services are great in Los Angeles County. You guys put a lot of enthusiastic on the support to homeless people. You guys worked very hard over the years, definitely. But lately, it's what's lacking is showing these people that they're Americans. They're not being given patriotic views. I was homeless. I had nothing to look upon as an American citizen. That's what it is. Just show them some patriotism. That's what they need. You just got to do it, and nobody's showing them that. They're mentally ill, and it's because they're not being shown that they're being supported as American citizens. It's bizarre, and it's a culture where we're going through. But really, I really hope you guys find a way to show them that as an American citizen, they do have opportunities, because that's what we came here for as immigrants. I'm done with that. General comments.
Sure.
Yes, Kevin DeLeon, you should definitely resign, dude. You're done. You can't even sit in that town, even in your district anymore, just with what you allowed happen with Nuri's mouth. She took the English language and stirred it around, rather keep her language as a positive influence. That's disgusting. This is America. Los Angeles is a place of culture, yes, but they also are part of California, and that's United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Speaker, are you there? Please press *6.
So, Speaker, are you there?
All right, then
Okay, so
we'll need to move on to the next speaker.
yes.
Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you wish to speak on.
Hello.
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
I would like to speak on item 32 comment.
Sure, you have a minute.
Okay. 4118 is unlawful, cruel, and inhumane. Be vetoed immediately. It should not be the homelessness. Even the has ruled that the anti-poverty ordinance is unconstitutional. So you NIMBYs should not be allowed to sweep out the poor. I'm going to move on to general public comment.
Okay. Please begin. Are you there, Speaker? Please begin.
Honorable racist comments. What a great way for them to ruin their political career. He's getting expelled in LA City Council, so all two should resign in their council districts immediately. And these guys are just the racist, homophobic, fascist, and classist politicians. Weeks since they refused to resign in their council. Kevin and Zadil fucking council seats immediately. Fuck race. Fuck the LA City Council. Thank you. I'm yield my time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. And before we go to the next speaker, actually, we've been now taking public comment for an hour and a half. So we will continue to take everyone who's now on the telephone queue, but we won't be adding more names to the queue at this point. Let's move forward. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on. Caller with the last 4 digits, 1403. Please press star 6 to unmute.
Speaker, if with the last 4 digits 1403, if you're there, press star 6 right away. Which items would you like to speak on, Speaker? Which items do you want to speak on?
I'm ordering lunch, you dumb fuck. I couldn't get in here. I'm trying to order something.
So we'll move on to the next speaker.
You're a gay fuck.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Can you hear me?
We sure can. Which items would you like to speak on?
General comment, and was there something about drawing the line?
So you've got 1 minute for that item, which is, I think, item 29, I think, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Okay, I don't understand why people are upset about council members saying things about drawing the lines and having more power and getting more tax money into their districts. This is what we actually vote them in for, so that we can get more funding into our districts. And that's not a racist thing to say, because we want more tax dollars into each district, and each district fights for those tax dollars. There's nothing racist about that. That's what we vote them in for, to represent our district and to get as much tax funding as we can get. Then I'll go to general comment.
Sure, please begin.
Right. I support Councilmember Calcedillo. He's an honorable man and very respectful. He did nothing wrong. He said nothing wrong. Because he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, he should not be thrown under the bus like the rest of them. He's out of office December the 12th. Just let him go in peace. This is disgusting that groups that he has fought for more than 40 years for their civil rights are now throwing him under the bus. This is very disgusting, upsetting. It's not right. If you know the man, you know that he's a good man and he should not be thrown under the bus the way that people are doing to him. That's totally wrong. Totally wrong. I'm in his district. I know how wrong that what people are doing to him. And I fully support my council member, Calcedillo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
I would like to speak on general comment.
Sure, you've got a minute. Please begin.
Okay, I just want to tell Kevin De Leon not to resign. Those unemployed losers, I was protesting at those council meetings, they don't count. The voters count. The blacks and browns should unite. White councilmen and white media seem to be enjoying this fight a little too much. When these crazy, unhinged activists were burning and looting Los Angeles in 2020, nobody had anything to say. But because a Latino makes a flippant remark? You want him crucified? It's stupid. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello, can you hear me?
We certainly can. Which items would you like to speak on?
Thank you. 32, please, in general public comment.
Sure. So you have a minute for item 32, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Thank you. I just want to say that I appreciate everyone in the room today and think everyone, including yourselves, are taking their time to try and continue to have some sort of decorum in Los Angeles. I would also like to denounce the previous speaker and denounce all of the rhetoric associated with homelessness and unemployment and unhoused people. There are tough times going on, and I think that is incredibly, incredibly unnerving to try and villainize people who are doing their best. Now, with regard to item 32, I think it's an overstatement to say that lying, sitting somewhere that is public at any point of the day should be villainized. And I will move on to my public comment so that I do not slip into, thank you. I don't want to start confusing the issues. As a personal citizen of this city, I think that we should band together, yes, and we should remember we're all one people. There's one love. There's an opportunity for us here. I also want to denounce the people who have talked about the quote unquote leftist agenda in the room and the quote unquote losers and the quote unquote other really divisive rhetoric that you are trying to point out. You know better. You know better. We all are adults. This city should be run by adults who are emotionally mature and who respect each other, not by people who call in using despicable language in a public forum, not by people who get quote unquote caught on tape on a public forum.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Go ahead, speaker. Press star
is anybody listening? Because
yes.
I hope you can listen to this. Nobody seems to be listening. Good.
No, we're listening. Which items would you like to speak on?
Public comment.
Thank you. You have 1 minute. Go right ahead.
Please listen to this. Good character is what happens behind closed doors when you think no one is looking. And Kevin Leone, because that's his real name, displayed his true character behind closed doors when he thought no one was listening. And it's racist, and you cannot apologize that away. He needs to step down right away. And by the way, he says he won't step down unless people in his district demand it. I live in his district in downtown LA, and it's a hellhole here. Nobody wants to come to downtown LA. Businesses are closing every day. There's human excrement on the streets. Nothing gets done. Every time we call Leone's office, his staff gives us a lot of lip service and they get nothing done. And by the way, we've been asking his staff to do something about an illegal food truck that keeps us awake every night and shouldn't be there. And we were told that it would be racist if they would, pursue that. And that doesn't seem right. There's lots of things that happen here and his office doesn't do anything. By the way, we asked his office what, Leon?
Thank you. Appreciate your call.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Go ahead, speaker.
Speaker, if you're there, please.
Climate change.
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
Climate change.
I think you said general, so that would be a minute, so please begin.
Yeah, it's about climate change. I believe that you might need to raise the heat in the room. There's a bunch of snowflakes there. Round 4.
So are you still there, Speaker? I don't think so. So
I'm
we'll
done.
Okay, great. So we'll move on to the next speaker.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
General comment.
Sure, you got a minute. Please begin.
Okay, first of all, Smoke and Scan is the best show on YouTube. Second, fuck LA City Council.
All right, thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Caller, please state the items you'd like to speak on.
So, Speaker, which items would you like to speak on? All right, so we're going to move on to the next speaker.
You can't get away from us, women.
And
Next
that
speaker, please.
looks like the end of the speakers, Mr. President.
Okay, very good. Thank you, everyone who called in. This is a new system that we've adopted to try to increase the amount of public comment, so appreciate your participation. We do have a couple of other callers, a couple of other speakers here in the chambers. Is Michelle Hope Walker available? Is she still here? Michelle Hope Walker? I don't see her approaching the podium. Is Cheryl here? Cheryl can approach the podium to speak. Okay, I don't see Cheryl. I don't see anybody getting up to try to speak. Donald. Is Donald available to come and speak? I don't see anybody. I know it's difficult because there's people blocking the podium, but I don't see anybody waving their hand or attempting to speak, so we'll go ahead and close public comment with that. And we're ready to move forward with the work of the people of Los Angeles. So, Madam Clerk, which items are before us that are available to vote on?
Before the council are items 4 through 28 and 31.
Very good. So those items are now before us. Let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
11 ayes.
Very good. Let's move next to item number 29. And on item 29, members, I'd like to propose an amendment to refer recommendations number 3 and 4 to the Budget and Finance Committee for further consideration of the funding sources for the election, and then move that we adopt all of the other recommendations. Thank you. Mr. Blumenfield is seconded. With that amendment, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
11 ayes.
Thank you. That will take us next then to item 33. And members, what's before us first is the motion on item 33 that was brought by Mr. O'Farrell and myself to bring before us the consideration of a new council president pro tem. And as we do that, Mr. O'Farrell, I want to thank you again for your leadership during a very difficult and tumultuous time as our president pro tem. You had a challenge that was put on your shoulders that was almost unimaginable to move the council forward. So I want to thank you for your dignified leadership as we advance this forward. And so with that, members, this motion on item 33 is before us. Let's go ahead and, if there's no speakers, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
11 ayes.
So that matter is now before us, members, and what, in keeping with the tradition of the City Council, we conduct the actual election of the Council President Pro Tem by a voice vote conducted in alphabetical order. So if there's no objection to proceeding according to that tradition, we are prepared to proceed. Public comment has been satisfied, so let's go ahead and begin with our roll call vote in alphabetical order.
Blumenfield.
I rise to support a great leader, Curran Price, a friend, a person I know is going to help heal this city. Go Curran.
Bonin.
Curran Price.
Buscaino.
Happy to support my brother in service, Curran Price.
Councilmember Price.
Hutt.
Support Curran Price.
Koretz.
An enthusiastic vote for Curran Price.
Krikorian.
I'm very proud to support a friend and somebody who has a strong leadership of bringing people in this community together, Curran Price.
Lee.
My good friend, Curran Price.
O'Farrell.
Our good friend, our esteemed colleague, Curran Price.
Price.
Humbly yours, Curran Price.
Rahman.
Councilmember Curran Price.
Rodriguez absent. 11 members voted for Councilmember Curran Price. Unanimous.
Mr. Price, I'd like to give you an opportunity to say a few words. Mr. Council President Pro Tem Curran Price.
Well, first of all, colleagues, thank you. I'm humbled by the confidence that you placed in me to serve as Pro Tem.
Mr. Price, one moment, please. Folks, we've listened for almost 2 hours now to your yelling. I'm going to ask that you keep the volume down so that we can hear Mr. Price as he speaks. That's the one and only time I'm going to say that. Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me start by reiterating my position that hate speech, bigotry, anti-Semitism of any kind do not have a place anywhere in our city. We can't stay silent, and such toxic, offensive, and divisive views will not be tolerated. I condemn the statements made and uttered by Nuri, by Gil, by Kevin De Leon, and by Kanye West. Their words continue to poison our beautiful city. And let me just reiterate, I did not know of the meeting that took place with my colleagues, nor was I invited to that meeting. I stand in solidarity with my brothers and my sisters in the Black community. I also stand with our Jewish community, indigenous people, Armenians, LGBTQ friends, and Angelos everywhere who feel targeted and no longer safe in our city. We're not going to turn a blind eye to the blatant racism that's been put on full display for all to see. Our democracy is under assault, and everything we stand for in the United States and in our city is at stake. At a time of rising violence, great animosity, and hateful rhetoric, we must come together and claim who we are as a city. I'm proud to represent a multicultural, multi-ethnic district that's majority Latino, and with the folks hailing from Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, across the diaspora. CD9 is a microcosm of the diversity seen throughout LA, which is why coalition building is a hallmark of my leadership style. All my life, I fought against injustices from an unfair system designed to sabotage any advancement of minorities. Because of my lived experiences, I've been at the forefront of creating lasting reform, leaning on progressive priorities impacting the entire city. Over the years, we've come together as one body with one goal: to lift people up and leave no one behind. Together, we've carved paths to prosperity for all Angelenos to level the playing field, whether it's increasing the minimum wage, providing paid sick leave resources, or the nation's biggest guaranteed basic income program. And I'm going to continue to advocate for the advancement of historically underserved and disadvantaged communities, like the one I represent. Because it's simply the right thing to do. It's always right to do right. And with the trust that you've placed in me, I'm going to continue to do everything in my power to help bring our city together. This is an honor I don't take lightly. As we look toward the future in the pursuit of equity, justice, institutional, and systemic change, our council will need a collaboration of leadership and those with firsthand experiences. As a 71-year-old black man, I've had my fair share of experience fighting against adversities. From living through a time of segregation to the social justice revolution today. We've got some difficult days ahead, but I have infinite hope that working together works. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. Colleagues, once again, I'm incredibly honored to take this position of responsibility and leadership on our council. It's time we work together to restore trust, restore faith in our city and in our state. It's an honor to serve you, and I look forward to our collaboration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Council President Curran Price, and thank you for being willing to take on this burden of leadership at this difficult time. Looking forward to advancing the city forward with you. All right, that will bring up next item 32, which was called special for a separate vote. So let's go ahead and take that item up. We can open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
9 ayes, 2 noes.
The item is adopted, and for the record, the ordinances for items 4 through 12 will be held over 1 week to November 1st for a second reading.
Very good, thank you. That'll I'm sorry, let's go back to item number 32. If there's no objection to reconsideration, Ms. Rahman would like to change her vote. So on item 32, if there's no objection, do we have to call the roll on reconsideration? We can do it without objection. We're going to do it without objection. So let's go ahead and take up item number 32 again for a separate vote. Go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the votes.
8 ayes, 3 noes.
Thank you. The item is still adopted, and there has been a request to adopt item 33 forthwith.
Without objection, that'll be the order. All right, that brings up item number 30, which was called special by Councilmember O'Farrell.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I rise to congratulate President Pro Tem Curran Price in his new role. Colleagues, item 30 is about supporting Prop 1 on the November 8th general election ballot. I stand in support of reproductive freedom and my professional duty to ensure the City of Los Angeles is crystal clear on this issue. Los Angeles will always stand in support of reproductive freedom, reproductive rights, and access to reproductive health care. These are fundamental, unequivocal rights, and they should not be inhibited by misguided decisions made elsewhere by courts or legislators. Our resolution in support of Prop 1 sends a clear message that America's second largest city will remain a beacon of reproductive freedom. This work is critical and also personal for me. Like many of you, we have either had relatives or close friends who have needed to make a very tough decision for themselves. I had one such best friend in college who was a star athlete 1 year younger than me, who was abandoned by her boyfriend and had to make a very tough choice. She went on to have a very wonderful athletic career at the university. and I know that she made the right decision. And she was able to do that at a time when reproductive freedom was the law of the land, and that was many decades ago. Restricting access to reproductive health care endangers the rights of all of us, including the rights we have fought so hard for, our rights to marriage, our rights to privacy, and more. Justice Clarence Thomas has already signaled on this U.S. Supreme Court the radical right-wing position that if you are a member of the LGBTQ community like myself, they're coming after us next. It's about our personal rights, it's about our privacy rights, and we are on the docket after this. We will not let this happen, and will continue to fight the protections across the nation, starting here with the passage of Prop 1 in the state of California. Thank you, colleagues, and I ask for an aye vote. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Farrell. All right. If there's no one else wishing to be heard on this matter, let's items before us. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the votes.
11 ayes.
Very good. Thank you. I'd also like to just make sure that item 33 was sent forthwith. Without objection, that'll be the order. Madam Clerk, what's next on the agenda?
Thank you, Mr. President. There is also a request to send item 29 forthwith.
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Council has motions for posting and referral. The motions will be posted on the City Clerk's website shortly after the meeting for the public's viewing. To subscribe to receive copies of today's council motions to your email, please visit clerk.lacity.org.
These matters are posted and referred.
The desk is clear.
Very good. Members, are there any announcements? The one thing I would just like to say in terms of an announcement, members, is thank you for seeing through a difficult meeting and doing the work of the people of Los Angeles. One thing that I want to make as clear as I can is we're going to do everything that we can to increase the opportunities for the public to participate in these meetings. That's why we adopted the new hybrid system today. But I also want to make as clear as I can, there is no way that the work of the people of Los Angeles will stop. This council will continue to do the work that we need to serve the people. The City Council will not be disrupted by groups small or large who seek to stop us from doing the people's work. Every member of this council has called for exactly what the people who have been raising their voices in this chamber have asked for. And so we are going to move forward. We're going to do the work of this city. Thank you, members, for your patience today in making sure that that happened. All right, any other announcements? All right, seeing none, are there any adjournments? On my right, any adjournments in memory? On my left, are there any requests for adjournments in memory? All right, seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
my wife, and we saw him on the